people's house. Big Zeus, in the people's house. Big Zeus, go up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. All the floors of chandeliers, I'm balling through the ball. Power through the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Travel for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watches.
Greetings, good morning.
Truth is it.
I'm on the backup. Make sure you send out the notifications. We're on the backup. Good morning, Edge.
Turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood trying to come and storm the gates.
Good morning.
But the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap.
VIP, good morning. Yes, we're on the backup. I got in trouble on Snuggles Live yesterday. What a disgrace. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday, September 10th. Go ahead, grab a seat. We're gonna get some cooking started. We're gonna get ready to do some cooking. Mrs. Obvious, good morning, everybody.
They asking for that smoke. People want them players, yeah, I think this is a joke. Take it back and rack the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark.
Let's go.
Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never divides. Sitting for the block, and buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Hey, fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, power's in the air.
We're on the backup. Please let everybody know if you can, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna do it on the backup. It's the same brand. All right. No matter where I'm at, I'm gonna serve it up the same way. You have my word, ladies and gentlemen. I promise that. All right. Let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We don't got all morning to do this. Yes. Share the live. Tap the screen and share the live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like a curse.
It is. It is.
And I can't escape it.
It really is like a curse, ladies and gentlemen. But we're here to do it. All right, let's go. Block them. Good morning. Trade up. Let's go.
I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back. They don't like it when I say that.
First class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, the head of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. That's a hot line for your wife. Right, Ange? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Come on in. Let's get this show started. Bama, Zena. I got all these snippets on my spreadsheet. MAGA doesn't know what a spreadsheet is, but they do their research. These are some of the simplest minded people we've ever seen. All right, here it goes. Here it goes. Let's all do it together. This is the favorite part. Zeus haters. They hate the Democrats. W-Edge. Here they go. Here you go. Here's my favorite part.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
I just ended up getting a drug
Shit
test.
was radical.
It was radical.
It was,
Snuggles.
it was horrible. I'm like, you've gone.
Zeus is gone.
Way off.
It really does get me every time, ladies and gentlemen. It hurts. It hurts. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I'm your pilot. And once again, we're here to save this great country of ours. Obviously, as you can see, I'm on my backup account, WVIP. And when I have to go to my backup account, it really makes me stronger. It doesn't make me weaker. So if this happens to any of you, when MAGA does what they do to you, and they make you go take a step back and use your backup, just make sure you understand it should make you stronger, not weaker. It's strengthened my resolve. And so now we're just going to go ahead and do whatever it takes to go ahead and annihilate the MAGA demon. All right. Now, before I do that, let's take care of some very, very important housekeeping items. For those of you who don't know who I am, this might be your very first time listening to me. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me that? All right. And it's quite simple. The first stage is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. The second H, it's because I'm humble. Listen. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I understand that, all right? And if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because I apologize, it doesn't mean that I'm weak. It actually is a sign of strength, all right? And I've learned that over the years. I have evolved. I've understood in real life, you have to take accountability for your mistakes. And that's how you get to being the best version of yourself. All right. So I don't take apologizing as a sign of weakness. I really, really do value it as a sign of strength. And we actually practice that on this platform. All right. We do. There's a lot of times folks get up here, we say things, and then we get fact checked because a lot of you in the audience double check what we're saying. And then once you know that, you go, okay, we cleared that up. We don't got to go around here and pretend like that didn't happen. So we do that. All right. But then the last H, all right, because I said I was Triple H. The last H, and I say this with all seriousness, and my good friend Takesha has passed an executive order. Anybody that violates this, you will be kicked out of the live, and I do mean that. But the last H is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome, typical Democrat. You can send me a guest request if you want to. Whoever wrote that, typical Democrat, who was that? My Love and Me. Feel free to send me a guest request whenever you get strong enough and you feel like you're not too weak to get in here and actually put a little meat on the bone behind what you said. All right. Because you basically opened the door to the next part of my introduction. And by the way, for those of you who do watch this video on YouTube, I need to say that somebody told me, make sure you share this live, this show with whoever is in your family that supports Donald Trump. All right. Share this live with them, because what it'll do, it'll actually start to heal the family in a way, because they'll listen to what I say and then they'll ask you all kinds of questions. And what I'm doing is I'm penetrating the cult. Not like that, not that kind of penetrating though, but I'm penetrating the cult. Because what we're learning is a lot of them, they don't have black friends like me, who they could consider me their friend. And what I'll say to them are the things that the ones that they think are their friends in real life won't say to them. But what they won't say, I'll say, and not just me, but all the ladies that come up here, the beautiful women that come up here and speak to, they're telling MAGA what the people in their circle won't tell them. All right. That's what they're getting out of this show. And what it's going to do, it's going to help them understand that. And the guy said it yesterday. If MAGA is not winning, America isn't winning. And right now, MAGA, you need to understand something. And the jig is up. MAGA is not winning. There's nothing Donald Trump is doing, MAGA, that's actually translating into success for you. And so whoever wrote that, I'm not either. Oh, I didn't say that. I'm not MAGA. But Tucker, listen to all of you. Listen to this. If you don't like hearing what I have to say, right? You don't like hearing people like me tell you the truth, whether you like it or not, then do me a huge favor. Leave this live right now, and you can go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts. And I've ran into every single one of them, totally annihilated them, and totally destroyed them. They will never, ever. There's only a few of them out there that I truly have a lot of respect for, because they're brave and they come over here and they try to explain what they said. Like that guy yesterday, I'll give it to him. He put 2 hours into the class that I was, putting into. I put a class yesterday. I put on a master class yesterday. 2 hours. I'll give him credit, because his resolve, his belief in the cult is strong. But he didn't win. So you go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts, because they'll lie to you. But over here, we won't. They'll lie to you, and then they'll take your money, all right? But I know you don't want to listen to me, so what I like to do is say this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. So with that, the doors to the Thunderdome. They've officially closed. We're all adults in here. If you're getting triggered by what's being said, the depths in which we go in this conversation, all I can say is you were warned, all right? Everyone needs to grab their shields because we're about to engage in some serious warfare. Yeah, MAGA is weak. So I will call this the Civil War. MAGA has been demanding ever since Barack Obama got into office. MAGA has been demanding a civil war, and I want MAGA to understand: civil war here. Civil war is here, and the battlefield is obviously the internet. Where for a second, I gave MAGA the benefit of the doubt, and I thought they'd figure this out, but now I'm locked in. MAGA has only 2 brain cells, at best 2 teeth, but I really think it's 1 tooth, and maybe it's not even that. Dentures. No disrespect to anybody in that situation, but these are some of the most dangerous people on the face of the earth, and so I'm not going to hold back. I'm just going to say what it is, and if it makes you cry, so be it, because I'm not a therapist. Now, what do I want to start today's show off? Because there's a lot of things that we need to get off our chest today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start the show off with some words from who I believe is one of the wisest, amazingest, beautifulest, honestly, politicians of our lifetime. Vice President Kamala Harris. And I want you all to listen to what she said, all right? This is it's like when you go back and you listen to an artist that no longer is around, or maybe they said something and then you go back and listen to it, you go, wow, they really had their finger on the pulse. We're going to listen to what Vice President Kamala Harris had to say, and this is about Donald Trump and Russia, and this is definitely relevant to what we all heard happened yesterday.
Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
You hear that? That was Vice President Kamala Harris warning all of us that Donald Trump would help Vladimir Putin. All of us that Donald Trump would help Vladimir Putin take over Europe by basically surrendering Ukraine, and also calling it out that Putin would, after Ukraine, go straight into Poland. And it's with that, ladies and gentlemen, that I share this next audio clip. And this is coming from the NATO Secretary General. And we all heard what happened yesterday when Russia flew drones into Poland. And I want you to all understand, I have not heard Donald Trump say a thing about this. And I'll get into that.
Last night, numerous drones from Russia violated Polish airspace. Our air defenses were activated and successfully ensured the defense of NATO territory, as they are designed to do. Several allies were involved alongside Poland. This included Polish F-16s, Dutch F-35s, Italian AWACS, NATO multi-role tanker transport and German Patriots. I commend the pilots and all who contributed to this quick and skillful response. The North Atlantic Council met this morning and discussed the situation in light of Poland's request for consultations under Article 4 of the Washington Treaty. Allies expressed solidarity with Poland and denounced Russia's reckless behavior. A full assessment of the incident is ongoing. What is clear is that the violation last night is not an isolated incident. The Supreme Allied Commander will continue to actively manage our deterrence and defense posture along the entire eastern flank. Allies are resolved to defend every inch of Allied territory. We will closely monitor the situation along our eastern flank, our air defenses continually at the ready. This only reinforces the importance of NATO and the path to which allies agreed at our summit in The Hague earlier this year. We need to invest more in our defense, ramp up defense production, so we have what we need to deter and defend. And we need to continue to support Ukraine, whose security is interlinked with our own. And let me conclude by saying that Russia is waging a dangerous war of aggression against Ukraine that continually targets civilians and civilian infrastructure. Allies are determined to step up their support for Ukraine in the face of Russia's escalating campaign. With that, I'm willing to take one or two questions.
And then he takes questions. None of the reporters asked the real questions, though. And the only question that I would have asked is this, Mr. NATO Secretary General, what has Donald Trump done to let Vladimir Putin know that we are not a weak country? Yeah, make sure you follow my backup account, Dark Zeus, because I know MAGA is triggered. They get triggered just by my existence. These people will say, Zeus, get a job. They'll tell me to do all kinds of things. And then when I get on TikTok and show them I'm doing my job, then they have a problem with me doing my job. These are some of the most whiniest snowflakes I've ever ran across. And they're hypocrites. They're jealous. They're insecure. They're incels. And they're disgusting creatures. And I'm not going to get on them like I really need to get on the sitting president of the United States of America who invited Russia, Vladimir Putin, a war criminal, had our men and women in uniform rolling out the red carpet for them, and allowed Russia to come just disrespect us. And he's got an army of content creators on the internet that get out here and they repeat these lies about President Biden and how weak he was. And none of you at this point, we really shouldn't believe it. We are the weakest we have ever been as a nation under Donald Trump. He's weakening our institutions. We're not even as healthy. I just heard information about test scores coming out. We're not that brilliant anymore. The light bulb doesn't even seem to work at this point. And our military, you just think, who's it ran by? Do we have someone who's really studied war? Somebody who's a student of law and stuff like that, has surrounded themselves with the brightest minds when it comes to, the modern age and whatever it takes to actually be the number one in the world. Pete Kegsbreath. How many of you have any confidence in Pete Kegsbreath being a mastermind when it comes to national security? Does anyone think Pete Kegsbreath? No. Yep. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, because there's so many other things that I got to do, is I'm going to go ahead and do some Lake of Fire stuff, and there's definitely a round of it. I'm going to send the Trump administration in its entirety where it belongs, straight to hell, because once again America is looking so weak, so incompetent, because of this guy right here who doesn't give a darn about us American people. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send the Trump administration where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, now I do got to also say, on that note, it's with great pleasure that I at least shout out these beautiful, amazing women who had the courage to go into where Donald Trump was trying to eat last night in Washington, D.C. You know how he says you can now go out to eat in peace. Well, Donald Trump yesterday, I'm just going to play this and give a huge round of applause. He found out yesterday that he won't be able to go out in D.C. and eat in peace without hearing the truth.
Enjoy your dinner.
Watch this. All right, so W to those beautiful protesters. Yeah, free DC, free Palestine. Trump is the guy, mustache man of our time. And it was just, what was even more interesting about it, it was how Donald Trump actually walked into that moment and then started acting like he enjoyed it, which tells me Donald Trump knows that's what he is. I mean, To be honest, though, he hasn't gone as far as the mustache man, but if we were to have allowed him to, he would do it. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead, give him a huge round of applause. Thank you. All right, so the next thing that I need to get into, ladies and gentlemen, and this is about what's obviously going on in this. You know this woman. You know of this woman, I should say, ladies and gentlemen. Right? We know of her. Rana, how do I pronounce it? Zarutska. How many of you have heard about this tragic story? And I don't want to do it because I've been hesitant to do it because I tend to always, when stuff like this happens, I want to know kind of how the family's dealing with it, because I would imagine they are the ones right now truly in pain. And so, but I have to talk about it because now it's became a political issue, and I'm going to make sure MAGA and everyone else who might think that I'm too weak and I don't have an opinion about this understand how I see this as a black man in the United States of America. All right, fair enough. And just to be crystal clear, the perpetrator, the criminal, the animal, I wouldn't even say animal, the creature that did this deserves to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. And that's where I stand on it. And I saw the video. I go, why are we even wasting time? Do what you need to do with this pod. He's of no value as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing you can do. This guy's done. So I don't even want you to even ask me where I stand on that. That's settled law. And I think all of you agree with that. If you don't agree with that, I don't even want to argue about it, because I don't even want my mind to have some sort of sympathy or compassion for it. All right. So that's not the other issue, though. That's not the main point here right now. This is what I want to talk about. And so what I'll do is let Lion.
Today, I would like to address the tragedy.
Lion Caroline Levitt. We're going to listen to what Donald Trump says, and then I'm going to explain to you how I really feel about this. So let's listen. And I can't do this. She's got a 5-minute rant about this, and I'll stop it when I get tired of listening to Caroline.
That has not received nearly enough media attention. The brutal Zarutska. Here are the facts that many outlets have shamefully and intentionally failed to report until President Trump drew attention to it. On August 22nd, Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death on the rail system in Charlotte, North Carolina by a savage career criminal. This is a public transportation system that many in the area use every single day to go to school and work. Irina was on the train that night traveling home from her job at a pizzeria, still in uniform from her shift. This beautiful, innocent 23-year-old young woman was a Ukrainian refugee who had recently fled her country for a chance at a safer life and a promising new beginning here in the United States of America.
So what I point out is this young woman was failed at so many levels. When I sit back and I hear that she was from Ukraine, and then you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's been through hell already there. She gets here. I'm assuming she came under President Joe Biden. But now she's here and she's watching Donald Trump totally just humiliate her country. She's been let down at the highest of highest levels. This is a series of a lot of tragedies as far as, and I'm only speaking from the way that I see it. So Caroline is trying to gaslight everybody about this, and I'm just listening and I'm going, Caroline, why don't you address the fact Donald Trump is enabling Vladimir Putin too, and that's actually making matters worse.
But tragically, a public transportation system in a major American city was more dangerous than the active war zone that she left.
And I'll agree. I do believe in a lot of these cities, not just blue cities. You need to start putting security on all of the trains and buses. All right, we're in this point right now because it's mental health and it's security. And I'm just sitting back going, okay, so Caroline, let me know what Donald Trump is going to do about mental health and security at the whole time.
The president and the entire White House are praying for her family and friends during this unimaginably difficult time.
Does anybody want? Now you just heard this. Does anyone want? Is Donald Trump praying enough? Let me ask that question. Is Donald Trump praying enough? Is Donald Trump praying enough? He could allocate funding to make sure people get access to mental health. He could allocate funding to make sure there's more law enforcement. And then the idea of Donald Trump getting on his knees to pray when we all know what he's probably done on his knees. It's like Caroline is slapping me in my face with these lies. You know, and what they're trying to do is pretend that they care. But here's the thing, MAGA, I see through you. You do not care. Every single one of you so-called hypocrite Christians out there, y'all love to pretend like y'all care about kids and stuff like that. I don't buy it.
But while we extend our thoughts and prayers, we must also seek justice for this crime and call attention to this heinous incident. Surveillance video of the killing was finally released to the public this past Friday. It shows the alleged killer, DeCarlos Brown Jr., pull out a knife, get up from his seat behind Irina, and prepare to thrust a blade into her neck before the released footage gets cut. This is pure evil on full display. The most enraging and unacceptable part of this story is that her death was entirely preventable.
Yeah, it was preventable. If Donald Trump would have sent the National Guard to Charlotte, Caroline, why didn't he send it to Charlotte? Because he doesn't care about crime. I get it. He's only caring about exacting revenge on his political rivals. He doesn't care about crime all over the United States. He's only sending the National Guard, not where crime really needs to be addressed, but where he has political rivals. All right, Caroline, I see through your lies.
DeCarlos Brown never should have been on that train that night.
Yeah.
In fact, he should have been behind bars.
Yeah.
And
you know who else, Caroline, should have been behind bars? Take a guess, Caroline. I'll give you a hint. He has 34 felonies. Been indicted 4 different times at least. Yeah, I mean, the audacity, Caroline, to use the pulpit of the presidency to tell us you do not like crime, while at the same doggone time, you're subjecting the entire country, the entire world, to one of the biggest notorious criminals ever known to mankind. Give me a break. And quit using this young woman's family to score political points.
Brown has been charged with crimes no fewer than 14 times, dating back to 2000.
Well, 14. Donald has 34. If we use Caroline's logic, Donald Trump should not be he should not be the president. He should be locked up.
In 11, including for armed robbery, felony larceny, breaking and entering, and shoplifting. Brown had previously served 5 years in prison for a robbery with a deadly weapon charge. And he had also forfeited bonds 3 different times, twice in 2014.
And I agree, and I'm just going to stop. I don't know why this creature was allowed to be on the streets. All right, so that's clearly a failure, and I don't need to go into detail about why it was. You do all that kind of stuff, you got to get locked up, all right? You don't got enough sense to be. Why should the rest of the country have to put up with folks that don't got the sense? Because they said he has mental health, and I listened to this, and they said he had well-documented mental health issues, schizophrenic, bipolar, all these things, and I'm going, why should the rest of the world have to deal with somebody that has all of that going on? You're putting innocent other people in, our lives in danger when you put these people out here. You know they got this history, and I go, oh, okay, I get it. We're in a situation now where Trump is cutting funding that could possibly also help folks that are having things like this going on. This mental health thing is real. The mental health thing in this country is real. What's the most dangerous thing besides an uninformed Trump voter? I could say a lonely man, because men tend to be violent, with mental health issues and access to weapons. That's the most dangerous thing. And if you're not going to do anything about the weapons, then you got to put services and support out here to address the mental, and you got to put services out here to address the security side of this. So that's the ultimate failure right here. I'm done with Caroline. I'm going to go to what J.D. Vance and others have said, all right? And then there's something else that I need to talk about first. But before I do that, let's hear what Donald Trump put out as a statement from his platform, Lie Central. Now, you keep in mind that Donald Trump is speaking as a convicted felon himself.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people. Really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life.
She never had problems in life? Bro, she came from Ukraine, an active war zone. What do you mean she never had problems? See, this is when the narrative, to me, is now being taken out of control, and now Big Zeus has to get involved. For goodness sake, you're the president of the United States. Could you at least be honest for once in your life, especially in the midst of a harrowing tragedy like this? Are you not capable of showing you have empathy and common sense? Who allowed him to get on camera and say these things and humiliate this country? Who is allowed? Because I really don't think Trump is there. I know the auto pen is a real thing happening with Donald Trump right now, and we'll get into that with Epstein. Okay, because it's not his signature, it's his auto pen signature on the Epstein thing, right? I get it, but this is embarrassing, and I'm just gonna stop him because I don't got much time, and I got to open up the boxes. Then we get JD Vance. Daniel Penny prevented this from happening on a New York City subway. Instead of thanking him, many hated him. Many of you don't know about Daniel Penny, but he's the white guy that choked out the black kid that was dancing like Michael Jackson on the New York subway. And they indicted and, charged him for it, right? And they said, oh, that's reverse racism. Elon's out there saying New York Times is reverse racist because they don't capitalize the letter white. And I said, you would think, ladies and gentlemen, that with the way that they're going after this situation, that Donald Trump means business when it comes to crime. And all I'm going to say is this. In response to this situation, there's something that was brought to my attention in terms of what the victim's family have said. The victim's family said, this is what the victim's family said, ladies and gentlemen. And we all should know this. All right. Let's see. This is what the victim's family said. They want to make sure the Charlotte officials address the failures and enact reforms. They want leadership to cooperate with investigations. They have asked the media to stop sharing the graphic of their daughter being the victim of this crime. And so that's why I'm not going to do it, because I think that's the right thing. And they also want allies to join in demanding long-term change and justice. And so now that that's out there, and I totally support that. That's why I say I like to let the families and the victims and the families lead these type of moments, because it's really something they are going to deal with, and they're going to be dealing with this the rest of their life. But I'm going to leave that there, but I'm going to get back into the political angle. The reason that I really decided to talk about it now was because while that's all happening, we're going into war, this, that, and the third. There's another story, a man accused of slashing an 8-year-old girl's, neck with a beer bottle in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I want you all to take a look at this guy right here. You tell me what you think of this guy. Crazy or not. This is the guy. Listen to this story.
Man is being held without bond after allegedly slashing a child's neck with a beer bottle at a popular Albuquerque pizza restaurant.
Jason McNabb spoke with the little girl's father following the suspect's appearance in district court. He joins us live now with the story you'll see only on 7.
Well, Christiana, Ron, court documents say 24-year-old Nicholas Sansucci stabbed an 8-year-old girl in the neck at this Saggio's by UNM back on April 25th. The girl's father tells me they're extremely lucky that she was able to make it out with only minor injuries.
I said, she's soaking wet. Like, what happened? And that's when she told me that someone had come up from behind and broke a beer bottle over her head.
Britton Rose is the father of the 8-year-old girl whom police say was attacked at the Saggio's on Cornell Drive, right off of Central. He says the evening of Friday, April the 25th, started off like any other night for a family going out to dinner.
It was a pretty long line, so we knew it was going to be a while before we were able to order and sit down and eat.
Rose says his wife took his daughter to see the murals in the restaurant while they waited. That's when commotion broke out.
That's when I heard my wife from across the restaurant yelling, "No, stop." And then I knew that there was something going on with my family.
Police say this man, 24-year-old Nicholas Sansucci, broke a beer bottle over the 8-year-old's head and then stabbed and sliced her in the neck with the glass. According to court documents, Sansucci accused the 8-year-old of being, quote, in his way.
She did nothing, my daughter did nothing to provoke this attack in any way.
Luckily, major arteries were missed, and an off-duty paramedic and ICU nurse happened to be sitting nearby when it happened. Nonetheless, Rose said she required 19 stitches for 4 lacerations.
They jumped right into action. They were applying pressure. They were making sure she was calm and talking to her.
KOET was there in the courtroom alongside Rose as Sansucci was arraigned in district court Monday morning. He pled not guilty to child abuse resulting in great bodily harm, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
So I'm going to pause that. And all I'm going to say is I totally expect MAGA to do what they've been doing with this situation. Don't all of a sudden see this guy and all of a sudden start to wonder, oh, does he got mental health? No, this guy, as far as I'm concerned, should see the same justice. The same justice that I was saying needs to happen to that creature that did that unimaginable crime against that innocent woman. Where is the MAGA outrage? Where is it? MAGA, where is your outrage? See, I'm not going to sit around here and pretend like you all care when I know you don't. Now, before I get to judgment, there's another issue, and people say, well, you're being so mean. Am I being mean to MAGA about this? Because here's the thing that I just can't seem to process, MAGA. A white woman, and this is true, who procured underage girls for predators. You know who she is? Was found guilty and sentenced to 20 years in prison. She's a naturalized U.S. citizen, too. Get that? But she commits these crimes. Denaturalization and deportation are not even being considered? Why is she even still allowed to be in this country? Why is Donald Trump giving her preferential treatment? Where's the National Guard, MAGA? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know what MAGA's thinking right now. I know exactly what you're thinking.
Sure. Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Yeah.
You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
But the breaking and totally unsurprising news of the night is that Donald Trump, on his way into that restaurant tonight, finally said the words, "It's not my signature." And in the same sentence, Donald Trump threw in a lie. Quote, "It's not the way I speak, and anybody that's covered me for a long time knows that's not my language."
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time knows that's not my language.
Donald Trump didn't say which words in the Epstein birthday book letter with his signature are not his language. The night the Wall Street Journal first published the letter on July 17th, I was among those who at first thought enigma was an unlikely word for Donald Trump to use.
And I want to say this about the word enigma, because it was brought to my attention. Enigma, ladies and gentlemen, is an anagram. Let me see if I can get it going, all right? Let me see, make sure everybody understands. This is why I say we have the evidence to go ahead and basically conclude Donald Trump is and basically participating in the Epstein files. He's in there, and this is what they're hiding. It's a French word. Ghislaine Maxwell's French. She knows what this means. It's enigma is an anagram for the word gamine, and you can see what the definition of gamine is. You see that? A girl who hangs around on the streets, a small, playful, mischievous girl. MAGA, it is his signature. The clues, if you could use those brain cells and put them together, you would really see what's going on with all of the stuff that your dear leader is doing, covering up for Jeffrey Epstein. Because guess what? Him and Epstein, you read the letter. You don't like it. They don't like it when you read the letter, but you know what the letter said, MAGA. And the word enigma is in this letter. I need to go ahead and connect the dots. I'm so sorry. But in this photograph, you see it. This is what I'm talking about. The word enigma is in there, and they say they have a secret. The secret is they both like girls who are underage. And I hate to even show this picture because now I've been told this isn't even a picture of a full-grown woman. This is not even a picture of a full-grown woman, MAGA. And so now that I've basically connected so many dots and I understand, yeah, he's guilty. He's guilty, yeah. The question is, what is he guilty of? So now that I've connected the dots for MAGA, all I'm going to do is say this. Spare me the fake outrage about all of a sudden you caring about children, all right, and women in particular, like that Charlotte incident, all right? Do what the fullest extent you can do with the law. I don't care if you erase him off the face of the earth. He's useless. But stop acting, really. Stop trying to act like you care about kids and that this is a Democrat issue. This isn't a Democrat issue. This is an American issue. Yeah, I could put blame on Democrats. I could put the blame on the Republicans. This is an American issue. But you know what's even more alarming is the person in charge of America is not doing enough, all right, to actually stop matters like this. One, you should be standing up to Russia. You shouldn't be bowing down to them, bowing down to Putin, all right? You should be allowing people to get access to health care. All right, this is another example of why the Democrats were right. We do need health care for all because you can't give crazy people access to things like this and then turn around and say, well, why did you do it? They're crazy. They're evil. They're vile. You know they're out here. We know they're out here. What do you think is going to happen? While you're sitting around there watching your Medicaid and your SNAP benefits getting cut, you're sitting around watching Donald Trump jack up the taxes on you. You saw what happened in Kerr County flood. You don't get any help. You're paying all these taxes, but you're not getting anything. Who's winning, MAGA? It's not you. Donald Trump might be. Keeps taking your money and embarrassing us. So what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say I rest my case. Stop the gaslighting and do your job, Donald Trump. Seriously, and quit getting on TV and just making everybody think you care when you know you don't. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, all right? And this is for all the Trump supporters out there that think I'm falling for these fake crocodile tears. Oh, I'm tough on crime when it involves black folks and people of color. But, you know, when it's not that, like that Albuquerque, New Mexico situation, you quiet as a church mouse. W, Rick, all right? You're quiet as a church mouse. And you don't got nothing to say about Donald Trump basically trying to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, who we all know is a convicted trafficker. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these demons back to where they came from, straight to hell! Yeah. Yeah. MAGA. Yeah. Dayton. That's a W Zeus. Somebody just said that I'm racist. Okay. Does that change anything that I said? Maybe you just heard some racist truth this morning. How about that? All right. See, the problem with MAGA is this. They think everybody they see is the problem, but they haven't done the introspective look within themselves to recognize the problem is way more local than you think. The problem is you, W Zeus. W Zeus, I just thought of that. If you could actually come up here and prove that I'm racist, I will be blown away this morning, all right? So let's go to the box, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's time to talk to all of you who are brave enough to get up here and speak your truth. Like I said, we're in the Thunderdome, but we got to say the truth, all right? Because that's how progress really will happen in this country. And I do want to say this for the folks who are getting triggered by the way that I'm running my live.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. So you no, I don't want to hear the crying. I don't want to hear the crocodile tears. So let's start this show off the way, or these conversations off the way I normally do. Are there any brave Trump supporters that want to come up here and tell us how much they love their dear leader, or get something off of their chest this morning that they may think that I might be wrong about? Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. And I'll get you right on up here, and I'll straighten you right out. All right. It really doesn't. It doesn't take much time. All I say is, do not get in here and curse, because my mom and people in the community who know me, they listen to this show, and they really do listen, because they really do enjoy the conversations that we have and the information that's being shared. All right. But if you're going to get up here and be a nasty person, I'm going to kindly ask you to reel it in, and if that doesn't work, I'll just send you straight to hell. We got a country on we got a country on decline, going in decline. The economy's basically in shambles. The job numbers are weaker than we thought they were. All right, Roy, come on up here, Roy. And this doesn't take long. This doesn't take long, as long as the person talking is willing to be honest. All right, Roy didn't want to come up here. Michael, how about you, Michael? Oh, Michael, send me a guest request, because I can't invite you. Yeah, they don't want to send a guest request. Put a 1 in the chat, or send me a guest request if you are a Trump voter. All right, and this okay, Dark and Mysterious. Okay. Hey, good morning, Dark and Mysterious. Welcome to the show. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. So I take it you voted for Trump?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how much of what I covered you listened to, but
I was only here for the letter part.
Oh, okay. Only the letter part. All right. Well, is there anything in particular you would like to say to us here? And
I would just
you
like
might not
to add on.
I'll say this audience tends to be a mixed bag, mostly left-leaning people, but a lot of independent. Then there's a lot of what I call Zeus haters. And so I just want you to know that's what's going on. This might be your first time talking, but what is it you'd like to say?
Oh, that chat's moving a little too fast for me to be able to concentrate on. But
well, first off, how old are you and where are you calling from? Hold on. I didn't do that. Where are my manners?
Oh.
How old are you? And then where are you calling from?
30, North Carolina.
All right. Shout out to North Carolina. All right. So what is it you would like to say about that letter?
Panthers didn't look so good this weekend, though, but we'll
I
get better.
get it. I get that. I get that. But, I can't go into that because people get mad at me when I start doing that. I got to keep it political.
Okay.
But good. Now, what is it you would like to say, though?
I just wanted to add that he is suing the Wall Street Journal over publishing that letter. So they're going to investigate it all, and it's his doing. So I think that right there is enough to prove that he didn't do it, but I don't know. We'll see, because they're taking it to court now. It's a $10 billion lawsuit.
But I can kind of sense how you're talking, that your resolve isn't really as strong about the letter, if you know what I'm saying. I just don't sense that you.
Yeah, I don't think it's real.
But I don't. Okay, what percentage of you doesn't think it's real? Because I don't feel like you're at 100%.
Majority percentage, yeah.
Give me a solid number if you
don't. Not real.
Give me a solid percentage.
Like 90.
90. I mean, and I gotta give you the
90,
credit.
95.
I'm sensing more like an 82. And the reason that I say that is because I know that if I were to ask you some questions, you would probably struggle to give me the answers a little bit, right? Because I'm gonna do it. Let's just test it out. So, have you seen all of the other signatures that people have said, showed that Donald Trump used around that time? Have you seen some of those?
Yeah. They actually offered to bring in a signature expert, to verify whether or not it was him. Trump's team did. So I think they're gonna review it in the court case. We'll figure out what's going on. But I think that they are definitely.
Okay, let me ask a quick question then. Have you seen the signatures that basically look identical to the ones? So their signatures that were
no, and I've also heard that they need.
You have it. Hold on.
Well,
Where did the original document come from?
So they don't actually have access to the original document. They just have a picture, and they're saying that
Where did
it
that-
could be altered, and they're going to see
Okay.
whether or not it was altered, and they can
Okay.
do that.
Okay, but but let's focus. Where are they getting this data or this information about the document from?
Wall Street Journal,
No.
the people who posted it,
No.
didn't post
Okay,
it in an
okay.
original.
What if I were to
Yeah,
say they got it
I'm pretty
from
sure.
what if I were to say they got it from Epstein's estate? Then that takes
Well, who's
the
the
air out
one
of
who
your
first? Who's the one who first brought it into like the
Sir,
who brought it
sir,
up?
so-
Like
so-
who exposed it? It was
Are we-
Wall
are-
Street
are-
Journal.
Are you? Yeah. So that's a separate matter. But the Wall
So
Street Journal.
it was a media company that brought it up. We don't even have access to the original document. So that's where I'm like, oh,
Okay.
how can they have got this from his estate if
Okay,
they
but
don't
listen.
even have it?
Dark and mysterious. Can I just?
You know what I'm saying? So they got.
Can
a
I just
picture of
answer your
something that they're
question?
saying
Can I
that they
just
found.
answer your questions?
Okay,
or?
yeah, go ahead.
So the letter that the Wall Street Journal was talking about, they saw it at the Epstein estate. Yeah, they don't have the letter because they're not the ones that have it. It's
Yeah,
the
why
estate that
wouldn't
have
they
it.
have the letter?
So, because it's not, it doesn't belong to
So
them.
even the estate doesn't have the original document.
No. Now Congress.
So the
subpoenaed-
original document
Hold
just
on.
disappeared.
It's like every time I'm starting to tell the truth to you, you're interrupting me. And
I'm
you're
trying to.
fighting it.
You said yeah, they don't have the original document, and I'm like yeah.
The
is it- so
Epstein
it
estate.
disappeared, and then
Sir,
you stop talking.
The Epstein. Let me say what I need to say. The Epstein estate has the document. All right, and it was subpoenaed by Congress.
Why
and
aren't
that's
they
how-
releasing it?
They just did. Congress did.
Why can't they? They can't release the document. They don't have the original document.
All right.
They don't have access to the original document. You can look it up. Here, Google it real quick.
Am I speaking?
Do they
am I-
do they have the original document? To
Am
the
I
Epstein
speaking?
letter?
Am I
Just
speaking in
Google that.
English, audience? Am I speaking in English? Because I'm not going to.
Yeah, you're saying that they don't have the letter, but then you're saying that the Epstein estate has the letter, but we can't see it because we don't have because it doesn't exist. Is what I'm saying.
No.
Why
No,
why
that's-
wouldn't they show everybody if they have
I'm
the
going to
original
need.
letter?
Listen, I'm
It
going
doesn't
to
make any
need you to at
sense.
least be quiet for at least 20 seconds.
Like
So-
if they had all the evidence,
Dark and mysterious.
why
I
don't
gotta
they
st- I
just
gotta- I-
release?
I gotta stop him. It's exhausting, letting off on my offspring, so to speak. You know what I'm saying. All I'm trying to do is say that letter came from the Epstein estate. Congress got it, and they've released it. All right. If you could at least accept that as fact, we could move on. Number one, but number two, the signature, right? I want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, like I said, we
can I
need
just
to
say
see
what
an
I need to
original
say?
document before you can
All
really
right.
accept
See,
anything
see,
as
this
fact.
isn't going to
And
work.
I'd
This
also
isn't going
like
to
it
work,
go to
bro.
court
This isn't going to
before
work,
you
ladies and
accept
gentlemen.
anything as
This isn't
fact.
going to work. Dark and mysterious. This isn't going to work, ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to get Dark and Mysterious to at least get to the point of giving me clear evidence of who would have gone as far as to go back in time and forge Donald Trump's signature. Or if you subscribe to the way that he says it, who is behind Signature Gate? But this is what I mean. They don't care about the truth. All they care about is defending their dear leader. They don't care about protecting the kids. All they care about is defending their dear leader. And then I was going to ask him, so if it's not his signature, why is he moving Ghislaine Maxwell to a minimum cushy prison? Huh? Dark and mysterious? You know why. It's because deep in your whatever's left of your soul, champ, and you seem very nice. You were respectful, but I don't like I don't like arguing on my show. I want to talk. And since you couldn't do that, I'm just going to take care of some very important business. Ladies and gentlemen, Dark and Mysterious. That's a good name. That's a great name for somebody who's a vassal of transgression and whose soul belongs in hell.
Silence, you MAGA Dayton.
W. Zeus.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Why is it so hard to just stay on topic, MAGA? Let's see. Let's see if we can get someone else. I didn't get to go as deep as I wanted to go in that conversation because it devolved very quickly. A conversation is, maybe a lot of you don't understand how a conversation works, but one person says something, you listen, and then the other person gets to respond and say something, all right? And again, it goes both ways. There's things you might say to me that make me go, what the heck? But you gotta sometimes let people make their point so that then you could get a full educated, unadulterated, so to speak, response. And I just don't get it, MAGA. Why is this so difficult? Why is this so difficult for you? We've heard your crap for 4 years about Joe Biden. I know every single Joe Biden conspiracy MAGA has ever thought of. And I've debunked every single one of them, me and my great friends. All right, so let's not play that game. If you really do believe what you believe, then you should have no problem answering the questions that I have for you. Simple. Because if you can't answer it, you don't believe it. And I consider that checkmate, W Zeus, all right? Put a 1 in the chat. Let's try this again. If you're a Trump supporter, please identify yourself in the chat, all right? And then I'll bring you right on up, all right? Put a 1 on the chat. If you're a Trump supporter, I'll bring you right on up, all right? Do we have it? Or send me a guest request, ladies and gentlemen. Send me a guest request. All right, let's go. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go. Do we have send me a guest request? All right. Let's see. All right, I don't know who's a Trump supporter. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Let's see. I'm looking. See, the thing is, they're scared. Yeah. Have I done anything? Have I said anything that's very bad, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, there we go. Sean, there you go. Sean Highland. There we go. Somebody else up here that actually knows what they're talking about. Sean, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today?
I'm all right. You voted for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
All right. Can I ask you where you're from and about how old you are?
53, West Virginia.
Okay, 53, West Virginia. All right, let's go. So have you been listening to my entire show, or did you just get here?
Yes, I heard everything you said.
Okay, is there anything that you think I may have gotten wrong?
Nah, I think you pretty much said it right all along.
Oh, okay.
I totally agree with you.
Oh, so then why are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I just feel that maybe somewhere along the line he'll get something right, do something right, maybe.
I get it. Well, listen, I would hate to put on these gloves and do a number on you, Sean. I mean, you seem like...
Go ahead, go for it. I'm a reasonable person.
No. I just can't do it in good faith. I don't sense that you really support Trump the way I'm looking for others to have supported Trump. Like you just seem like you're doing it because it's cool to do, and I don't really want to do it.
No, I support Trump and the immigration.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Sean, please.
That guy that killed. Wait a minute. That guy that killed that woman.
Sean, you can't use that kind of language on my show. Come on, you got to use TikTok-friendly language, Sean.
What language?
You can't.
What language?
You have to say unalived. All right. So that's a W, Zeus. Sean, what I just did. Thank me later. I spared you. I spared you, Sean. Seriously. And you don't like immigration because, Sean, I'm going to give you a secret. You go to the grocery store, and if you notice things are costing a lot more, that's because, guess what? Immigration turns into the mass deportations. That translates into higher cost when it comes to your groceries, higher cost when it comes to your supplies. And so you don't like it, all right? Trust me. And get this, Sean, you're not safer. Crime is actually going the wrong direction if you think about it. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Let's try this again. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. If you're a Trump voter, please identify yourself. There's 1 point. Okay. I mean, this isn't so hard. All we need is 1, and then the rest of the show can go on. But I like to give a springboard. I'd like to give us a springboard. All right, let's see who we got. I invited a couple of them. I invited a couple of Trump supporters up here. Just give them a second. You know, it's like fishing, right? You throw the bait in the water, and you gotta see if it's gonna start bobbing up and down before one of them nibbles on it. Come on, put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you up real quickly. All right, don't y'all have something y'all want to brag about and say Donald Trump is doing so good about, or did I totally annihilate you? Yeah, good. What's going on, Dark Arthur? All right, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. I gotta throw minnows back. So, where are my critics? Where are my detractors? They said I was racist. I mean, when I was giving them all this kibble, I was serving them kibble this morning, dog food, right? I was serving them dog food, and these junkies, they were acting up. They were, oh, Zeus, you're triggering me. And now here's an opportunity to at least come up here and speak on the truth that you see, and it's not happening. It's not happening. What a disgrace. Yeah, all right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you up. Yeah, okay, there you go. I'll come up with my good friend Val. We'll let Val do what he has to do. Hi, Val, how are you?
How's it going, sir?
I'm doing all right. What about you?
It's been a day.
Yeah.
You know, a couple things, you know, but we have this mental health conversation all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely rich that the Republican Party would even try to put forth mental health as a problem when the same party has done nothing but
Wait a second. Slim, hold on, Val. Slim, I invited you like 3 minutes ago. Why are you just now popping up? Slim got to echo. I'm going to drop him. You want to come back up here, Slim?
You want to come back up here, Slim? Send a guest request.
All right. Sorry, Val.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
But I want to make it clear that for 30 years, the Republicans have refused to fund mental health in any way. 2023, there's a bill put forth to get insurance companies to put more, you know what I'm saying, to quit turning down mental health applications and have insurance companies put more money into mental health and actually pay for mental health for their insured.
Wow, 2023.
Yeah, shot down by Republicans. Okay, these are bills, and this is nothing new. This has been going on since the 1980s, not just at the federal level, but at state levels too.
Yeah.
Especially red states. But, you know, North Carolina seems to be a hot topic of discussion right now.
Yeah. I didn't want to talk about it, but is there anything you want to say about that situation?
I mean, other than there was a bunch of cowards in that train. Okay, I'm just going to call it out before I was out. A bunch of cowards in that train. Okay. The thing, you know, that's what caught me more shocking than anything else is people could just stand there and watch that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was
yeah,
gross. But
what should happen to those people?
You know, if I had my way, they'd be publicly shamed.
Yeah.
But this is the same country. This is the same country that a plane full of passengers knew what their outcome was going to be, but brought down the plane anyway. I want people to remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They knew what the outcome was going to be, but they saved a lot of people doing what they did.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's a good point. So what would your message be to people who might find themselves in a situation like that? All right.
I mean, numbers win. This is one man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to need a few stitches or something when this is all over, said and done? With numbers win.
Yeah. See something, do something. Right.
See something, do something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was brought to my attention how sad it must have been for that young woman to have to go out like that. Nobody there to help her.
Anybody that's seen it knows that the man walked away for a little bit when she could have still been saved and came back. It was disgusting. You know what I'm saying? That's really all I want to say about that. It was absolutely disgusting to watch.
Yep.
The next, you know what I'm saying? But mental health is my main thing up here because we talked about that and we talked about North Carolina. Hey, Zeus, if I'm not mistaken, North Carolina's in a bit of a crunch right now when it comes to funds for their government. There might be a reason for that.
Would it be tied to natural disasters?
It could be tied to natural disasters and funding that this president has not given them. Well, when people have to, where's money going to go? A lot of these issues are of this man's own making, and y'all need to see it.
Yeah. No
Okay.
lies detected.
Yeah, I mean, it's of his own making. You need to see where these things are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most, and what happened this morning, and people don't say it, but I've actually been talking about this for a few years now. You know, ever since the Ukrainian conflict began.
Right.
And I've told everybody, and we've heard MAGA come up here and go, no, they wouldn't do any such thing. Poland is the goal. Hear what I just told you. Poland is the goal.
Yep.
And when it comes to dictators in that region, Poland has always been the goal.
No lies detected.
Right. And then, you know, you need to understand something. Because of that, and because of what Biden, yes, let me repeat that again, Biden did in letting Poland arm the way it has, a lot of what they have was due to the Biden administration.
Yeah.
Okay? And this country's been arming up because they can see it. Poland knows, and Poland's not going to lay back anymore.
Good.
And this should be a concern, because there was a lot of time when Biden was office that he was holding Poland down, telling Poland, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't need to do this. Don't jump in. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Because Poland does not want to wait for Putin to make his first move. Poland's ready to go.
Good.
And these are the things that should be scary, because if Poland jumps, we're all in.
But here's the thing. Didn't Trump say this thing would event? He would settle it in 24 hours, and
He can't settle nothing in 24 hours.
No new wars.
He can't settle what toilet paper he's going to use in 24 hours. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. I mean, these are, you know what I'm saying? This man is truly inept.
Yeah.
And when it comes to foreign affairs, it is nuts. And then somebody brought up the case, you know, oh, he'd be suing for the $1 billion to, you know, the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Sir, you may want to go.
That's dark and mysterious.
Yeah, you may want to go look up the percentage of cases he actually wins in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
He loses 96% of the time.
Teddy, that's funny to you that he's a loser?
He loses 96% of these types of cases. Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck, Teddy. You know, because Teddy, here's the thing. Wow. Oh, wow. Hold on, Teddy. Come on up here. Come on up here, Teddy. Crybaby. Oh, I can't even invite Teddy. I'm done with you. I'm done with him.
Teddy has no brain in this fight. The thing is this: we've got to stop from both sides, right? We need to stop giving this man any credence at all.
Yeah.
He has proven how inept he was. He's proven what he's willing to do to try it. He wants to be Putin. Oh, and then I want to talk about maybe what gave Putin this capability to maybe think about he's bold enough to make these kind of moves. Okay? It was Donald J. Trump. It was Donald J. Trump when he came into office that decided to reduce the sanctions on Russia.
Yeah.
It was Donald J. Trump
you hear this,
that has let this man sell enough oil onto the market right now to rebuild his finances.
Thank you. So Donald Trump, because one of the people in the audience, she didn't want to come up here. She said, so you saying this is all Donald Trump's fault? Val?
Absolutely.
Val. It is Trump's fault. And if you want to spread the blame, I'll actually go as far as to blame his cult members.
Right. PTXF plays a role in this, but the end result of this is it was Donald Trump that reduced sanctions on Russia. Sanctions that were working. I want to make something real clear. We've always known who Vladimir Putin was. people that want to sit up here and be Russian sympathizers and say that Russia, you know what I'm saying, Russia's going to get better, Russia's, you know what I'm saying, Putin's not wanting to do these things.
Yeah.
You are fooling yourself. This is always who Russia has been. I'm 60 years old. I've lived through having to hide under a desk.
Wow.
Okay.
I've heard about those stories. You did
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely true. We did them once a month.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
I've read about those
absolutely true.
stories. Yeah, I've heard about those stories when I was in elementary school. They told us, and you're like, what? You guys really had to go through that? And so, okay, they call them fallout drills. And then to see where we're at now, right? Because from the way that I see it, Val, I'm like, all my life I've been taught Russia is our adversary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we don't get up, I mean, obviously, outside, there's probably things the United States and Russia do together because, that's just how it is when you share a planet. But for the most part, Russia is our adversary. And then you see what Donald Trump is doing and you're going, was I brainwashed? Was that all manipulation? Because what this guy's doing.
No. There was no brainwashing there. I mean, there was one leader in Russia that actually wanted to try to change. You know what I'm saying? A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's when the wall came down, and Gorbachev was a transitional leader for Russia for a long time. Okay. But when Putin stepped back in there, Putin was, one of the leaders of the KGB.
Yeah.
And this man, he came out before he invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
He said these words: I want to restore the former glory of the USSR.
What a sick person.
Everybody, I want to make sure everybody understands this. Everybody in the world, except for Donald Trump, shivered a little bit that day when he said those words.
What?
Okay, that is, you know what I'm saying? That's when I knew he was serious.
Yeah.
And that's when anybody that I guarantee you my age had actually studied anything about this, and
Right.
every other foreign leader in the EU went, oh, hell no.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's obvious that he's not someone we should be trying to get along with, so to
Oh,
speak. Right?
absolutely not. This is not a man you roll the red carpet out for.
Bingo. You hear that, MAGA? And look at what you've done. What a disgrace. Well, listen, Brother Val, we're going to try to move it on and squeeze a few more folks up in here.
Thank
But
you,
we might
guys.
have to bring you up depending on if we get someone up here brave enough that, wants to come up here and have a fruitful discussion, so to speak. All right, brother?
We'll see how lucky we get.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. W's in the chat for Val. No. Rice detected. See how easy it is, ladies and gentlemen. This show, when you get up here and you're just honest, it's an easy experience for you, and it doesn't really take that long. All right, let's see. Do we have any other Trump supporters out there? Please put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. All right. Look at that. We have Poker Dad. Oh, Poker Dad. It's not often we get to hear from you. How's it going, sir?
Greetings, Zeus.
Yes. How can we assist you in the kingdom this morning? Any issues you would like to get off of your chest, perhaps?
Well, you were talking about one of the main issues for me, and just we always talk, and we talk about things like people over politics.
Correct.
You know my stance. Like it doesn't matter what political side you're on. Fact is, people come first, and I'm really, really, really steamed up about this whole thing with the guy in North Carolina and the young lady that was attacked, and obviously what happened is what happened.
Yeah.
But we can argue all we want when it comes to the political side of things, when it comes to obviously mental health, making sure that it's available for everyone, that it's not stigmatized and treated like it's something that isn't worth our time. Fact of the matter is there's a lot of sick individuals out there. I mean, there more than just the stories that you brought up today. It's all over the place. It's rampant.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do to make a difference in these areas? It is absolutely scary knowing what's happening on you're talking about public transportation,
Yep.
drugs, like all these things that are happening in these areas that are just completely unsafe at times, right?
Yeah. The thing that came across my mind is that could have been my niece, because I don't have kids, but that could have been my niece. But a parent should be able to have enough confidence in public transportation that if they have their kids or nieces and nephews going and using it, that they could go and come without, safely, right?
For sure. And that's what the problem is now, right? So, obviously we have the homeless issues. Well, what happens? Why are people homeless? A lot of them because of mental health, right? Where are they hanging out at? Areas of public transportation.
Mm.
How do they get to where they need to be? Public transportation.
Yep.
So it's almost like this is becoming more of an epidemic than that's causing larger problems in the overall.
Mm.
But here's what my issue is, right? And this is where I blame Trump, right? Or the MAGA, right?
Mm. Oh.
The idea of it's none of my business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being uncomfortable because they don't look like me,
Mm.
right? Now
Can
let's
you
take
wait,
the
wait, wait? Can we unpack that statement that you made? Because I think that went over a lot of people's head. What do you mean they don't look like me? It's none of my business. What does that mean?
there's such a division,
Huh.
right? And I know it's racism is always there, no matter what people want to claim it is or it isn't, right? But there's such a division to where, especially like, you know, in a lot of people's culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of been raised to if it's not your business, you don't put your nose in it,
Correct. Yeah,
right?
that's right. Okay, yeah, yeah, stay out of
I know
go.
that's
Yeah,
I know that's the way I was raised,
correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the problem, of this young lady happened, right? There was a lot of people on that train that said, you know what, I'm been it, I ain't in it.
Mm.
Looked directly at this poor girl who had just gotten attacked and did nothing to help, right?
Right.
And this all comes from and I hate to say it, but there's a portion of it could possibly be
Hmm.
racially, motivated, right?
Mm.
It has nothing to do with they liked what happened to her. That's not what I'm saying. It has to do with I'm Bennett and I ain't in it.
Mm.
And if it's not one of us, we don't worry about it.
Mm.
And it's sad on both sides, right? No one can, and it's sad on both sides, right? No one came to her aid.
Hmm.
The question is it because of that? Or is it
I
not because of that? I'm not claiming it is. I'm not claiming it isn't. But I'm saying, is there a possibility that because of the division that
the
the whole MAGA idea may have brought up again, right?
the MAGA idea. What is that part?
Well, I mean, think about it, right? The complete separation, right? It's we aren't together. There's a stigma behind it. We're not on the same page.
Yeah.
It gives the idea almost like it's systemic racism working against people of color.
Yeah.
And then now when it's something like this comes up, it's kind of like I'm minding my business. I don't want to cause no problem,
Mm. Got it.
right?
Got it. Yeah.
And then
That's an angle. That's the angle. It's a reality that I could honestly say I acknowledge. I know it exists. I know when I'm on public transportation, yeah, I do tend to mind my own business. But I was very saddened to see that none of the passengers, none of the other people who were witnessing this had the courage to actually confront this creature and do something about it and be there for that poor young lady in that moment.
or even try to help her.
Yeah, that definitely made me sad. I don't know what got him to go off on her, but I thought to myself, did he do it because she was a young looking white woman? Honestly, because everybody else was black. I looked at it that way. I see it, and it could be that. But to your point, we got to address this larger issue, which is it ain't my business, and I'm not going to get involved with it. So that leads us to this next point about funding cuts and security. What is the take? Are we at a point now, Poker Dad, where we need to start looking at healthcare free, free healthcare for all? Because this guy had a lot of mental health problems. It was well documented, and then there was no security. I mean, this is to me why I get upset with the Trump administration, because I don't want the thoughts and the prayers. Do something.
Well, that's the issue, right? So the Trump administration is completely reactive. There's nothing proactive about the Trump administration. What helps us look better right now, what helps us fix our current issue that we have right now, nothing has to do with the long term. Let's fix the problem, right? Now, talking about the immigration issue, right? We've talked
Yeah.
about this before. This is a good example.
Yeah.
Why are we going to go and try to chase down everyone that's been in the country already because we want to, have, political, we want to be congratulated politically, right?
Right.
Because we're showing that we're making a difference. No, how about you just fix the border?
Mm.
How about you just fix the border? And as we come across individuals that are having, end up being criminals, they're part of, different gangs, things of that sort,
Right.
and you're coming across these individuals, then just address it when you come across them, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're turning a blind eye to it, but let's focus on having the problem stop at the border, and then now we're fixing it going forward.
Yeah.
That's where we need to go. And
Yeah.
this is, from what I understand, from the past couple of administrations, this is what we were trying to do. That being said, we need to stop wasting, the dollars in the areas that's going to make us politically look better to
Yeah.
our followers and start putting money to things like, okay, let's make sure that the crazy people are actually getting the health care that they need.
No, DJ, that's not exactly what Trump has done. See, this is
That's how lost they are. That's literally how lost
you hear
they
that,
are.
DJ? And this is sad, DJ. You literally cook yourself the moment you open your mouth and you say these crazy things. I don't know why you would say that. And Poker Dad knows more than you, DJ. Trust me. All right, W Poker Dad. See.
So this is the problem, right? And
Yeah.
we've had. I know yesterday you had the individual that came on and unfortunately was an embarrassment to themselves. Talking about how it was fair to be profiled, like
Yeah.
it's something that should be expected. If every time you walk out of a sports bar, you got pulled over to be checked for a DUI, should we profile that individual because clearly you're in a place that served alcohol? You look like someone that walked out of the place that
Yeah.
you could possibly have, been drinking alcohol. We should check you out immediately.
You should not, in my opinion, but I think based on what we heard yesterday and where we know MAGA is, they believe that that's acceptable.
That's the point, right? So
Yeah.
where do you draw the line? It's okay to be, our founding fathers, we built this country off of innocent until proven guilty, right? When it comes
Right.
to the criminal justice system, innocent until proven guilty.
Correct.
In these scenarios, now, hey, just because I have, a look of being from across the border, I'm now guilty until I prove I'm an American citizen.
Wow. Is that the country you want to live in, DJ? Is that the America you want your children's children to be living in, where they actually have to run around like criminal? Like they're basically criminals until they prove they're not criminals, right?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting.
And I'm obviously I'm down here in Florida, and it's really affected a lot of families down here. That
Wow.
and a lot of families won't even come out in public.
Wow. Wow.
The places where
Wow.
like where I work, we come across a lot of individuals that may be coming, that may or may not be coming from across the border, so on and so forth. Their families just don't come out. They're worried about their loved ones. They're worried about all kinds of different things. It's tearing families apart. And these are good, upstanding individuals that have been here for years. We're not talking about they just came across and got lucky and
years.
And now we're seeing what happened. We're talking about individuals that have been here for years.
What do you say, DJ? What do you say about that, Mr. Donald Trump is the best thing since sliced bread? Any of you Trump supporters, now you have folks who've been here for years hiding in fear. You heard about that ICE raid? I know I'm keeping you a little longer, but I just want to ask you, the ICE raid in Georgia, did you kind of hear about that? And I wanted to get your thoughts. There was a Hispanic woman, I believe. She was hiding for 6.5 hours while ICE was doing a number on the facility. 8,500 jobs now on the risk of possibly not being able to, manifest because ICE did the raids. What are your thoughts? Because these are people who are in the community living in fear, just trying to make a living to help this great country of ours, now finding themselves their target practice.
Listen, almost every one of us are here because of immigrants. Everyone's just trying to figure out a way to survive. Like a lot of times when people are leaving where they're coming from,
Yeah.
the fact is there's a reason for it, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying there shouldn't be a due process to become a citizen. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's right for
Yeah.
these things to be happening coming across the border. Fact of the matter is, unless people are proven to be unsafe, unfit criminals, why are we going to go out of our way, spend the money that we're spending that can go toward things like mental health, like proper security, like these are things that can help us out in the long term.
Thank you.
We need to stop worrying about looking like we're politically winning, trying to set the mark so that we can make history as a president.
Wow.
That's what's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, listen, I appreciate it, W Poker Dad, and again, as always, sir, thank you, because it takes a lot to get up here and tell the truth like that. All right, and so we're gonna try to move it along, but as always, ladies and gentlemen, you got to give Poker Dad a huge round of applause. No lies detected.
All right, Zeus.
All right,
take it easy.
Later. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, no lies detected. So, you see how easy it is, ladies and gentlemen? We covered a lot of issues, and Poker Dad is honestly, he's right. This is a situation, mental health and security. Donald Trump, if you're listening, and I know Donald Trump is listening to this show because Jesse Waters had me on Fox News on one of his shows. He took one of my videos and did a Fox News thing on me, but it didn't do anything besides make Big Zeus even more stronger. Listen, I don't want to hear how you feel about what happened, Donald Trump. I want to know what you're going to do. What are you going to do about making public transportation safer? And what are you going to do about mental health issues in this great country? Because the last thing I will believe, honestly, and this is coming from the bottom of my heart to the top, is that you are getting down on your knees and praying to God. I don't buy that for a second at all. If anything, you're down on your knees doing something ungodly, W. Zeus. So get the funding. Get the communities all together and support long-lasting change so that we can live in a country, Mr. and I hate to call you it, but I'll say it this time, Mr. President, all right, so that women and children, men and boys all over the country can ride on public transportation without fearing that they are also placing themselves in danger. It's the easiest thing that you could do while you are the president, all right? And I know you could do it because according to a lot of your supporters, you somehow have the art of the deal. But if you don't do it, I just want you to know I'll be on you like white on rice. That's the only time. Okay. Zeus, get over it. Trump is your president. Okay. Let me move on. Okay. Oh, look what the cat drug in. So you were getting upset because of what Poker Dad was saying?
I wasn't getting upset.
Oh, okay. I thought you were getting triggered. You're getting upset with what Val is saying?
I wasn't here for Val, bud. I've only been in here a few minutes.
Oh.
But I thought it was really interesting what you were just saying about should Donald Trump get involved in the safety on public transportation?
Yeah.
He should.
I said I don't want to hear him telling us he's praying because I don't believe he's
Right.
a religious person.
You're saying that you want him to get involved.
If he's going to get involved, then I need him to do something because posting, he's already involved, right? He's posting. JD Vance and them are posting, and they're trying to make it seem like it's a Democrat problem, but it's really not. It's an American problem, right?
Okay. So are you for him getting involved in D.C. and Chicago?
If it's an American problem, did you hear? I'm consistent. If it's an American problem, the president and his administration should definitely be involved. But what they're not doing is providing us with any solutions. They're just trying to score points politically. And look at
so you
look
don't-
at it.
you
It's
don't
at the
think
expense
him-
of innocent people and their life. You got to agree with me on that. They're just
I
trying to
agree.
score political points, DJ, to get votes. They're not actually showing me they care about what's happening.
Okay, so you're asking me questions, but you keep talking. Do you want me to answer or no? I mean, so you're okay with what he did in D.C. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. So you want him to do something about public safety, but
Yeah.
you don't. But you're against him sending troops and helping out. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you see the hypocrisy in that, Zeus?
Actually, no.
All right, explain that to me then.
Okay,
How is
great.
that not hypocrisy?
Okay.
You want to bitch at him about
Oh, there
about
you-
not
see,
doing anything.
I caught you cursing. See, now I know I got you. I got you in a tizzy. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But anyway, I mean, you want to fuss about that he doesn't do anything to help with that he should be doing something to help with public transportation, but the troops that he sent into D.C. to help clean up and help make that safer, that's not the solution.
How does picking up trash translate into stopping bad guys or bad people? How does that work?
Have you seen the statistics about what went on in D.C.? I mean, I'm sure you're going to bring Val up and he's going to dispute this, but the crime was considerably down while the troops were there. Would you
Okay.
agree or disagree with that?
I've based on the statistics, I believe they said crime did go down. But here's the thing, DJ. Number one, how does that help address the millions of people in this country who could be bipolar, schizophrenic, right, and have access to dangerous weapons?
It doesn't, Zeus, but
It
you're not
doesn't.
comparing apples to apples.
So that's why I said I have a problem.
It doesn't, Zeus, but
It
you're not
doesn't.
comparing apples to apples.
So that's why I said I have a problem. Number two, so it would be different if there was really a national emergency in which the situation required the military to get involved, right? But from what I understand, this stuff that they're doing, the cops could do it. And
Why aren't
I
the
believe
cops
Donald
doing it,
Trump
Zeus?
should be at
Why
least.
aren't the cops doing it?
And I believe no. If I'm talking and I'm giving you my answer, you gotta let me listen. You gotta listen.
Go ahead.
And instead of actually teaming up with law enforcement to do whatever he's doing, so that we could get long-term sustainable solutions. Because I believe if it's security he's trying to address, I also understand that our budget, he does not have enough to do this in every single city in the United States of America. He doesn't. You get what I'm saying?
Sure, I
He
agree.
he cannot put the National Guard in every single city. Maybe he could put one or two people from the National Guard in every single city if that was the angle. But what I'm not seeing is long-lasting solutions. Because at any moment he could change his mind and say, I don't want him here, and then this thing goes right back to poop where it started. As a matter of fact, even worse. So I look at this and I say, he's only doing it to score political points. He's not really doing it to help address the underlying issues, right? So we both have to, that's how I see it. So you're not doing anything to address the mental health, and you're playing and pretending when it comes to security. And none
Okay.
of us buy it, DJ.
So what is the bigger answer? What is the bigger solution, Zeus?
I just gave it to you. I said this is an American issue. If Donald Trump was
Right.
serious, he wouldn't be cutting the funding for mental health. He wouldn't be cutting off the food benefits.
You don't know that Donald Trump has attempted to open up facilities for mental health?
No, I know he's attempted to open up Alligator Alcatraz.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So getting back to what we were talking about. Okay.
Good answer.
Go ahead.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
go.
So talking about the you would rather he didn't do anything than what he's currently doing. Is that what you're saying? As far as helping out Chicago or helping out DC or helping out LA or helping out, I mean, you understand that at every single how much.
So let me ask you this, DJ.
Sure.
Would you rather me see that your house is on fire, right? And come up to your house and go, hey, we ought to have firefighters. We ought to have police. We had to get the neighborhood together, get this fire and put it out. And do all of the stuff to help you understand that, but your house is still burning, right? Or would you, and so at the end of the day, I did all of that. never at one moment did anyone make an actual solid attempt to put the fire out. So your house ended up burning down, right? Imagine that happening. Then you come back and then I say, and then you go, hey, Zeus, you did all of that, but my house still burned down. And then I go, well, would you have rather me done nothing? What would you say?
I would say that
If the outcome is ultimately the same, your house is going to burn down, right?
Okay. Are you ready? Are you finished? So ultimately, he didn't do nothing, Zeus. Ultimately, he sent troops to D.C. to help clean up and help the safety of the citizens of that city, and he accomplished that. And the left, Zeus, I'm not. You just agreed with me a little while ago that he did, that the crimes did go down. You just agreed with that just a few minutes ago.
But I also said that's not really a permanent solution.
No, no
Like,
question.
okay, in the example that I gave you, in the example I gave you about putting the fire, okay, he threw some water on it, fair, but the house still is going to burn down.
Okay, I was going to use the analogy that my house went out, but maybe the house next door is on fire. Okay, but it is not the responsibility of the president of the United States to solve every crime issue in the United States. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. There has to be some kind of local level protection. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So if you take the cities with the highest crime rates, the cities with the highest murder rates, that's what he's looking at. Okay? And if you take a look at what's running those cities, it's democratic liberal policies towards crime. Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you don't think that liberal policies have anything to do with the crime in our country?
No.
Okay.
All
right.
Because people can just, I go back to the good book, the Bible. There was crime right at the beginning in the Garden of Eden, bro.
Absolutely.
And that was it never turned into a left or right thing until we had Donald Trump in this. You know what I'm saying? Crime has been around in the United States. No. Let's just be honest. Crime has been around since the founding of this country. Hold on. This country, as a matter of fact, DJ, was founded on crime. Now, you see where we're going?
No.
This country.
Tell me where you're going.
This country was founded on crime. The land is stolen.
It's a ridiculous analogy.
DJ, am I lying, DJ? DJ, am I lying?
Absolutely lying.
Okay.
There's a difference between the land was stolen.
DJ,
I'm assuming you're referring to Native Americans. Is that what you're referring to?
The indigenous people that were here first. Did they surrender the land and say, "Here you go," or was there active warfare waged against these people in order to take their territory?
There is no
and then sending of the smallpox blankets and all these other bio weapons and raids and stuff like massacres and stuff. I've read about this stuff, DJ.
I have too.
So don't try to pretend like, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. It got over here on the Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria, and then they brought out the flour and the maize and the turkey, and they said, Columbus, where have you been? We've been waiting for you to save us. And then Columbus got out there, and then they came, they had dinner, and they, you know what, you're such a great guy, Christopher Columbus. Here's the United States of America. We've been waiting. You think I believe that story happened, DJ?
You and I both know that story didn't happen.
Thank you. So that's what I mean when I say it was founded on crime. And crime has been how this country has been managed, because then I could get into slavery. And I would call that an act of terror.
Absolutely.
I
agree.
So now we're at this point, and this is why I say, when I bring up slavery, should we talk about it on a Democrat or a Republican side? Because when did it become a political issue? Until Donald Trump got involved. And this is what gets me. He's a criminal.
How did slavery become a political issue under Donald Trump?
Because ever since he came down that golden elevator, it's always been about the left versus the right. Ever since he did that. He's the one that injected this.
Slavery?
Huh?
What does that have to do with slavery?
I said you didn't hear it going back and forth during slavery. Oh, it's the radical left that's for slavery. Oh, no, it's MAGA for slavery. We didn't talk like that. We didn't start talking like this until Donald Trump hit the scene. That's my point.
Yes, till TDS became a great big thing. I agree with you 100%.
No. We're saying that now that you all have basically lost the plot, right? And you're trying to make it a left or a right issue. I'm making sure you understand it's really an American issue at the end of the day. And if you and you can't pretend like you have a problem with crime when you voted for a criminal.
Oh, we're going to get to this. Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think it's liberal
you wanna
policy?
talk
Hold
about
on,
the
no,
crime,
because see now I'm going to use
That's
what you
not
said.
you want to talk about.
Do you think it was liberal policies that allowed Donald Trump to become the president? It was our liberal policies that allowed him to become the president, because if it was up to the Republicans, I think, and this might be, you might have something. This guy should have been locked up a long time ago. If the you know what, DJ, you might be changing my mind. Maybe if the Democrats would have just immediately sent him to jail, Merrick Garland, indict him, send him to jail, maybe none of this would have happened.
Are you trying to insinuate that they didn't try to do that, Zeus? Are you trying to insinuate that they didn't try to bankrupt him, or they didn't try to send him to jail, or they didn't attempt to murder him?
Unalive, you mean? So you know what, DJ, you might have done something. You get 34, you indicted 4 different times, and you still get the campaign? That guy should have been placed at the bottom of the jail, if you come to think about it, because there's nowhere else in the country where a person could be out on bail committing more crimes like that without being placed in jail. So you might be right, DJ. Maybe it was the liberal policies that you're complaining about that allowed Donald Trump to be president of the United States.
Oh, I get what you're saying now. It took me a minute. Okay, the light bulb just went off. So you're saying because we were soft on crime
with
that's
Donald
how
Trump
he got into the office. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Now you have a
Okay.
now you have a problem with those liberal policies.
I have a problem absolutely with some of the liberal policies in the country that goes on when it comes to crime.
As long as those policies allow Donald Trump to become president, you don't have a problem.
I think that if you take a look at the way that those, again, you don't want to go down this road.
I've already went down there, and it's a dead end.
You know what I'm going to answer with. You know what my answer is going to be. Am I right? Or do you want me to go down that road?
You're already going down the dead end, DJ.
I know it's going to be a dead end with you. Absolutely. That's not even a question. My point is, so you cannot look at what's going on in this country with crime and not address liberal policies towards criminals. Would you disagree with that? Do you think it's possible that someone should be able to commit a violent crime and be back on the street the same day? Are you okay with that?
A person committing a violent crime and then being back on the street the same day?
Yes.
If the law says that that's what happens, then that is what I say, right? I think we need to follow the laws of the land. If the law is not right, then they need to revise the law. That's how I honestly feel, DJ.
Would you say that a law that allows that needs to be revised?
Yeah. And
Okay.
would you say that
Okay.
you have a problem with a country that allows a convicted felon to be the president of the United States who arguably may have committed violent crimes, including the SAing of a woman or few? Because E. Jean Carroll was SA'd.
Again,
And if you go to Ivana, if you find out what he did to his wife Ivana, she accused him of raping her and pulling her hair out. That's violence. So do you have a problem? Do you think we should change the laws, DJ, to make sure people that do those things aren't allowed to be the president of the United States?
Yeah. If someone is committing violent crime, then yes, they should not be president of the United States. I agree
Including
with
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump was not criminally convicted of doing any violent crimes.
He was
Zeus.
found liable of SA.
Which is
you know
civil.
what S stands for?
Which is civil.
What does the S stand for? What does the S stand for? Let's unpack
what
that
court of
word.
law was that?
What does S
voted
stand for,
rendered?
DJ?
Excuse me?
SA. What does that stand for?
I'm not going to say it. And
Okay,
you're alive.
something, we don't want to say that. And then what does the A stand for?
Attack.
No. But even if you wanted to use the word attack, it still
Right.
falls in the category of violence. But the correct word is assault. Should a person who has been found liable by the court of law who have
By
engaged
a
in
civil
that.
court, Zeus.
DJ,
It wasn't. There wasn't. How come it wasn't in criminal court? Zeus?
DJ.
Why
Focus
wasn't
on
it
the
in criminal
word.
court?
Focus on the word, DJ.
I am focusing on the word civil versus criminal.
Abuse. It said abuse. I mean assault.
Civil.
Go look up. Go look up the word assault. Do we need to do
I don't
that?
need to, Zeus. I
Okay.
know the definition of the word
Okay.
assault.
So
Okay. And why was he convicted in a civil court versus a criminal court?
DJ.
What's the difference in the conviction of a civil court and a criminal court?
Well, one definitely would require jail time. Another one's a financial penalty or something, right? And I get what you're saying, but the evidence is what I'm talking about, DJ.
A criminal court, you have to
DJ.
be found guilty beyond a reasonable
DJ.
beyond a
DJ.
reasonable doubt.
DJ. Again.
Uh-huh.
It's you. It's not the liberal policies. It's you. Unfortunately, sir, you cannot. DJ. Unfortunately, you just can't acknowledge that Donald Trump is a criminal, and those liberal policies that you
It's
have.
amazing how this conversation have turned from where it did to this. Every single thing that you want to argue about goes back to either the 34 felony convictions, January 6th convictions, January 6th, any of those. That's everything. It doesn't matter how the conversation starts. That's where it ends. Okay. We're not talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about American citizens, Zeus. This originally started from the young lady that was murdered that was unalived on a train, correct?
Okay, you brought policy, right? So you made it political. Once you did that, all right, this is when we get back to where I'm at, right? All right, this is when we get back to where I'm at, right? Which is, and for you to get up here and try to sell me that Donald Trump genuinely cares about this woman, to me, it's laughable, because I think to myself,
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
one of those two.
So take Donald Trump out of the equation just for a minute, Zeus. Just for a minute, okay? Would you agree that there has to be something done with the criminal justice system? Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
Yes, and I believe people of color have been saying that for decades, for centuries, DJ.
Oh, and I'm not going to argue with that.
People of
I'm
color,
not going to
people
argue with that at all.
See, this opens up another door, and then honestly, it's time for me to, because you and I we can banter back and forth, but this opens up a door. For decades, I grew up, we always knew as people of color, we never got a fair shake when you go inside of those courtrooms, right? And it was always the judge always figuring out a way to show that you were an animal or a monster. You couldn't be rehabilitated, never wanting to give you a second chance. And it was tied to the legacy of slavery. So people of color, we've known that there's something going on with the justice system for a while. But you know what? When I would talk to other people who weren't people of color, and they would say, oh, you just got to trust the system. You just got to trust the system. You got to pray for it. Ask God to guide your steps. The truth is going to come out. You'll be free. And then they go in there and then they don't get a fair shake. And then even if they did do it, the penalties are just way higher than they would be for, their counterpart of another race, right? And so you go, oh, okay. I guess that's just how it is. Tupac has a song called Changes. You should listen to it. Then enter this enigma, Donald Trump, who, just literally does the worst offenses you could do to this country. On top of being a racist person, commits, as far as I'm concerned, this is treason. The classified documents.
Which one?
Insurrection against the United States government. January 6th, classified documents, insurrection against the United States government, right? Under any other condition, this person would have been indicted and sent and convicted and prosecuted just like at the fastest rate possible. None of that happened to him. And then he
didn't get impeached?
Huh? Not for what I'm talking about. Well, January 6th he did. January 6th he did. But the 34 felonies with the falsifying the business records, all right, January 6th, and the classified documents. And he throws out this term, two-tier justice system. And you all picked that up and said, yeah, it's a two-tier justice system. You don't see the two-tier justice system. Democrats don't see it. And I'm going, welcome to the party. We've all known this two-tier justice system has existed.
And
but
you're referring to a two-tier system when it comes to Donald Trump. That's what you're talking
he was
about,
trying
right?
to sell. He was trying to sell us that he was a victim of a two-tier justice system, but he's
Right.
not the victim of a two-tier justice system. He's actually the largest beneficiary of a two-tier justice system, because nowhere else could you be out on bail 4 different places and still be allowed to commit and continue to commit crimes and run to be the president of the United States of America, unless you had the complexion for the protection and the wealth that Donald Trump has. And that's what's going on here. So the fake outrage, DJ, is when you all try to come and share these things to me as though this is brand new. It's not brand new. Been here, done that, lived it. No, be tough on crime like you said you would be, and say, hey, Donald Trump shouldn't be allowed to do all of this. He should have been already prosecuted and convicted. Mike Pence did the right thing on January 6th. He's a real Republican. It's not a hoax. It's not a hoax. It's no one. It was the election in 2020 that was successfully won by President Biden. But you can't do that, DJ. And this is the issue.
But you want Trump to get involved in providing public safety.
If he is,
that's how this whole conversation started.
I'm saying this, DJ, and this has been a decent conversation, but I'm going to do the judgment. If you're going to try to put the fire out, if you're coming to put the fire out, then just put the fire out. I don't need all the charades. I don't need all the look at what I'm trying to do when the outcome is still the same. You see what I'm saying? It was to me.
I think you're making a great point. I do.
Everything Donald Trump has been doing since he's gotten in this time, 9 times out of 10, it's just a charade. It's not really translating into the results that people need in this country. It's a waste of money, and you know it.
Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, whoever's in the office of the White House, okay, they are not going to be able to do what needs to be done. That is not their responsibility. It's got to start on the local level, Zeus. It's got to start with local prosecutors, local judges, local mayors, police force. That's how we're going to get safer cities, not by Donald Trump or anyone else, regardless of whoever's president.
So then what the heck is Donald Trump doing? If that's your belief,
Donald Trump is trying to do something.
But you just said he can't do anything. It's up to the local government. DJ, I'm listening.
He can't do a permanent fix.
Okay, so then what's with the stunts? What's with the National Guard thing? It's not a permanent fix. What is it doing then besides wasting our money? See, DJ, I knew you were going to actually do that. You just got to the point we've all been saying for this time. It's not that, hey, if the National Guard worked, then we're all going to support you doing it. But we know he's not doing it just to help fix the problem. He's doing it to score political points, DJ.
Well, again, Zeus, you've got a pretty biased opinion on that.
DJ,
you know, maybe he is. I mean, again,
you just proved it, DJ. DJ,
everything that Donald Trump does.
DJ,
you know that I do not.
DJ, you just gave me that point. I didn't make that point. That was your point.
I
You
agree.
just said Donald Trump can't do anything.
Up from it. I'm not backing up.
Okay, so if Donald Trump can't do anything, DJ, then what the heck is he doing besides wasting our money?
No. Okay, so attempting to save lives and show that, hey, the federal government is willing to step in is a waste of money. I like that. Okay, that's fine.
DJ, I got to move it on. All right?
You do.
But for the sake of this conversation, I just want you to know everything you were arguing with me about were points you were making, and I was just using that to help you see the issue with the logic. All right? I'm glad that you agree.
To point out the hypocrisy of you saying he needs to get involved in public safety, but at the same time, you're going to fight against him bringing in National Guard to help with crime. That's all.
Okay. And in the meantime, DJ, I'm going to go ahead and give you a first-class trip somewhere you've been before. You got your backpack?
Yeah, once or twice.
You got your backpack? All right. You got your sleeping bag?
All right, man. Thanks for
Do
bringing me
a
up.
favor, DJ. Come on back when you need another dose. But in the meantime, and in between time, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do this. DJ, you need to enjoy that first-class trip straight to hell. actually argue themselves into the corner. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we saw happening right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we saw happening. Oh my God, DJ, look at that. You wasted a lot of my time. Good morning, Shay. The beautiful
Oh my
Shay.
goodness.
How
Oh my
are you?
goodness. Oh, that was good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing great.
Man, you did it. You did it, Zeus, because that's exactly what I was going to do with him. But you got him to go there.
You think so?
You did. You
Could
did.
you
but
explain
then-
to him what happened when because he doesn't understand what happened. You know that, right?
Right. So you did exactly what our point is. See, the thing is we all know, because we don't think that this guy knows what he's doing. We know he doesn't know what he's doing. We know he's a liar. We know he's a criminal. We understand all of this, that this is political shenanigans at its finest. Why? Because he says blue, 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 right?
Yeah, blue.
It's all about blue. It's not about American cities. It's not about any of that. It's blue this and blue that, just like during COVID, right?
Right.
Just like that. So that's why we know this is political, that this is all political for show. Because a real president doesn't say blue or red.
Yeah.
They say American cities. As America, we need to address crime, mental health, policies, all of these things.
Correct.
That's what American presidents speak like. Donald Trump always is about the team that did not vote for him, does not bend the knee to him, does not praise him, does not rub his little shoulders and pat him on the back.
Yeah.
Okay? We've always known the minute he rolled down the golden escalator in 2015
Yep.
that this man is nothing but a show. He is a celebrity apprentice guy that wants to get up there and say, "You're fired, Democrats." That's what he's about.
Yeah.
And if you don't rub his back, he will turn on you like a viper. Exactly. It's all in red states, Jim, 100%. This is what is so ridiculous, because if you look at the crime rates in cities, they're in red states, run by red governors. That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. And the only thing he's doing is he doesn't like Democratic governors.
Oh.
These aren't blue cities. These are states run by Democratic governors that don't bend the knee to him, don't praise him, call him out, stand up to him. But you're falling for the okie doke,
Yeah.
because yes, what happened in Charlotte was horrific. So why hasn't he sent the National Guard to Charlotte?
Yeah.
That's
what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Why?
Because he can't afford it. He cannot afford
Well,
to
that
send
part.
the National Guard to every place that it's needed.
Absolutely not. And the National Guard didn't help him getting booed and called Smittler in public, did it?
Yeah.
Nope.
Hey, Leslie. Leslie, I sent you an invite real quick. I don't have much time this morning, Leslie. I assume you're not a Russian bear on a backup account, Leslie, but when Shay is talking, I would appreciate it if you would just listen to her instead of getting triggered. Because when you write, "I disagree, Trump is actually getting expletive done, Democrats are just salty AF."
No, he's not getting anything done. And I'll tell you why, Leslie. He can't keep the National Guard there picking up trash in D.C.
Ain't today the last day for the National Guard?
Yeah, it probably is.
You
I
hear
haven't
that?
figured it out.
Goodbye, National Guard, Leslie. You see what had just happened?
Yeah.
If the only way out of that straitjacket, Leslie, is to send a guest request.
Hey, Leslie, why can he call the National Guard now and he couldn't on January 6th? Can you answer that question? Go ahead, Leslie. I'm waiting.
Leslie. Bergeson. Hey, Leslie, come on up here real quick. We want you to answer some of these quick questions we got.
Come talk to me, Leslie. I'd love to know. We're not salty. We're trying to wake you guys up.
Yeah. Thank
that
you.
all he is doing is dividing our country. He's not solving anything. He's causing complete division.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's doing. He doesn't care about America
Nope.
because Chicago is America. There are Trump supporters living in Chicago,
Yeah.
but yet he's calling them Democrat-run cities and, crime-ridden and horrible people and got to send in the National Guard. What happened to states' rights?
Yeah.
You guys cry about the Civil War, but that was states' rights. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, they have the right to own people. Got it. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as it
But,
benefits them. The
states'
liberal
rights.
policies.
Exactly. States' rights when it was okay to cut up migrants swimming in the Rio Grande. That was okay. No, how dare Biden get in there and federalize the border and keep the cruelty down?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he should do that. But no, he can go against Newsom and Pritzker because y'all love that.
Yeah.
See, he knows you love a show.
Yeah.
That's why you voted for him.
Mm.
You loved watching him on celebrity TV.
Yeah. Sick people.
Money, 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 money.
And we can see right through it. They love to be. It's like he's the snake charmer or something. They
Yeah,
just.
absolutely.
Well, listen. That's a good
Yep.
time then, Shay. All right. Well, listen. We're gonna wrap it up. All right.
Yeah,
That's a great
all right,
timing.
love you, my friend. All
W,
right, guys.
Love you, Shay. Love you as well. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. Oh my God. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at the time. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know how much time had flown past. I couldn't resist this one. Who is this real quick? I got to talk to this demon real quick. MAGA Win, have I spoken to you before? I feel like
I don't know.
I think
I don't
I've
think
spoken
so.
to you. I think I've spoken to you before. All right,
I don't
quickly.
remember.
What do you got for us real quick? All right. I've covered so many things this morning. What do you got for us?
Well, I hear that the National Guard is going to be he's going to extend the National Guard stay for another 2 months.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Well, it means that
I haven't fact
DC
checked that.
Yeah, I just found that this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you're okay with that?
Well, it's good for the residents in DC.
You've been to DC?
I've been there once. Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know if you actually are living there, and so I guess you're okay with him wasting taxpayers' money and basically tanking the morale of the people, the men and women in uniform, right?
Well, I don't know if the morale's low. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, imagine you thought you were actually going to do real things to save this country, and then you find yourself out there picking up trash. That's not
well, they're
really,
doing.
like people who are, community service type of thing. Maybe, people who get, have to do that for, as part of their probation or stuff like that. He's treating them like that. I think it's,
Well,
I think it's very
better than sending them to
demoralizing.
Syria, right, or
Huh?
Afghanistan.
Huh?
It's better than sending troops to Syria or Afghanistan, right, or Iraq, right? I mean, they're here at home, taking care of business here at home, right?
Well,
DC is messy. It was trashy with crime,
Well,
graffiti,
why don't you
and
just go?
trash,
Why don't you go to
and the
DC? Hold
homelessness.
on. How come you don't just go out there and pick up the trash yourself and make America great? You could do that. You don't need to have a uniform to do that. You can actually just say, I love my country so much, and go start picking up trash.
I do
Because
that here.
I don't like the quarterback, the couch quarterback thing. Oh yeah, you get out there and do this. Well, what are you doing? Are you
Well, I do
picking up
that.
Are you picking up trash in your city you live in? Because I'm pretty
I
sure
do.
it's dirty. What city is it?
I'm in San Jose, California.
Oh, there's a lot of things you could be doing in San Jose, bro. What are you doing there to help out the community yourself? Or do
Oh,
I
I
need
do.
do I need to go on Amazon and get you a little uniform to put on and then send you out there? Which way?
No, I do pick up shit over here. There's a lot of stuff
If
happening.
you're not happy here,
It's run by Democrats.
Okay.
San
no.
Jose as well is run by Democrats, right?
Well, listen,
Homelessness,
okay.
trash,
Okay, I've heard this story
graffiti.
before. Let me ask you this, and then I gotta move on because it's time for me to go. If you have such a problem with California and San Jose, why are you still here?
Because I'm in the trenches.
No,
I'm here to fight for the Republican Party.
they don't need you here. You're
Yeah,
outnumbered.
they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. But in fact, I
No,
do
no,
have a
no, no,
property.
no, no,
I
no.
do have a property in Idaho. I
Oh.
do have 12 acres with a house and all that stuff.
Okay,
But
okay,
but I
okay.
have several
Then you
properties in
should. Then
California
you should. Then why not take uproot
because
and
because
go
I was
live
here
to Idaho?
because I was here before Newsom.
No.
That's why I ain't gonna run away.
But the territory.
Why would I
is
run
blue.
away?
You know, it's the territory is blue here. All right. Why would you surround yourself with Democrats? Have I told you the story about this guy that was a Trump supporter and he didn't want to be around Democrats anymore, and he said, "I don't ever want to be woke like the Democrats." And I actually think this is a good story for you. So,
well, don't make it take too long, right?
No,
Is
because
this
I
gonna
gotta
be a long
go.
story?
So what he ended up doing,
Because the Democrats and Republican ratio is 60-40.
listen. And
So it's not like I'm surrounded by Democrats. It's 60-40 ratio.
Can you just listen to me? He packed his bags, everything he owned, wife, 2 kids, and the dog. He took the dog, Husky, and he went to Russia. He gets there. Putin says, "You don't want to be woke anymore?" He says, "No, I don't. I don't want to be around those Democrats. I don't want to be woke because woke is broke." Putin says, "I got something for you." He tells him to put on this uniform, and then he sends him to the eastern front of Ukraine. And get this, he lost his life. And there's a thing going on now, and they say, you know what?
That's what the Democrats should do, right? Leave.
No. Here's the
and
thing.
fight for your own life.
No. Here's the thing. They say, Putin, thank you. Because you're right. He won't be woke anymore.
That's good for him. He's fighting for his own country.
No. So why don't you just go to Russia and be woke like him? Not be woke like him. That's all I gotta say. All right, because that's the lesson in
I'm
that
a mega.
story. No,
I'm a mega, and we control
And
America.
on that
Why
note,
am I
ladies
gonna
and
go-
gentlemen, Big Zeus has to get out of here. W Zeus. The lesson in that was, you go to Russia, Putin has a plan, guaranteed you won't be woke anymore because he's going to send you to the front line to fight that war. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I love all of you, but I got to get up out of here. I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in this morning. What a great show. You all deserve a huge round of applause. No lies detected. Special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. All right, because without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and definitely educational. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. This goes out to all the Zeus haters, especially those who I went into Snuggles Live yesterday, and I just did a number on them, and then they turned around and tried to report me. What a disgrace. If you don't like me, just stay the heck away from me, all right? Because guess what? I'm up, you're not. And do us all a huge favor. Go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Dayton.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do out here in these TikTok streets. Hey, Leslie, what you say does not even count. Lady Boss, thank you. I'll be uploading. I upload the video onto YouTube. If you're not following me on YouTube, make sure you are, and make sure you are sharing these shows with all of the Trump supporters that you know. Tell them to watch Big Zeus. W Heaven. Another great show. Thank you. Eugene, thank you. Cena. Hey, looking lovely. Lady boss. Arigato. Izaimasu. Woo! VIP. Ni hao, ma. You know what I'm saying. Y'all didn't know I knew a little something, huh? I know a little something. I don't know much, but I know something. Thank you, Heaven. Yeah, MAGA doesn't like the United States. MAGA doesn't like the... I should do an evening show? How many of you think I should do an evening show? Tune in, because there's so many things that happen throughout the day. All right, and we gotta sometimes debrief. All right, I'll talk to my team. Hey! Thank you, Lady Bob. Let's go! Hey, VIP! Let's go! The show comes on 6:30 a.m., 6:45 a.m. Pacific time. I'll be on this account. Mallory, VIP, thank you all. Thank you. All right, I'll do it for 2 minutes and then I gotta go, seriously, because I don't do it as much as I used to, but my mom has been telling me I need to do it. You know, my mom makes me work so hard. She says, you don't do the drill, baby drill song, and I say, because I need new hits. I need new hits, all right? But I'll do a little bit and then I gotta get out of here.
About a year and a half ago when she was getting killed in the polls.
You're the
She said,
best,
"I like
Zena."
fracking very much. Look, they always go back to
what they want. Yeah.
They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it. But we're going to end that, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill.
We're going to be drilling so deep.
We're going to be, for these guys, we're going to drill. We're going to take out so
You ever
much
done
money.
that?
We're going to pay
Not
down
you,
our
Tiny
debt.
Tank Talk, Tim Tom.
We're
I
going to
know
lower
you
your
can.
taxes to
All right, here goes.
insane
I love you too in
asylum.
Scotland.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Okay, what?
Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, frack. Drill, drill, there's a frack, frack, frack. There's a baby, there's a lots of baby. She's going to bang.
You know she's going to bang it.
Up in there, she was against stacking against all the stuff and then all the slut and then all the slut.
Hey!
Everybody here to Africa.
When she was getting killed in the pack, she said, I like. They always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. And we will. Hey, little hug.
So deep, we're gonna do for these guys. We're gonna drill.
We're gonna take out so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
Insane asylum. You know they go crazy when I say
the late great Hannibal. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hey. Hey, we're gonna drill, baby. Oh my gosh. All right, let's do it real quick. Here we go. All right.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter.
Right, oh, they do?
They say, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
We're going to lower your taxes.
Oh, really?
Deep insane asylums.
Deep?
You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, 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 baby, drill,
lower your taxes.
Deep insane asylums.
You know they go crazy.
When I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, 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 baby, drill, we're gonna
Hey, hello. There you go. Hey. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Take care. Stay